So I just wanted to talk about something that I've had experience with: condition non-disability military separation. So if you're going through a condition non-disability military separation, the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you have copies of everything, all the documentation that you've been given. If somebody has said something to you verbally and not giving you documentation for it, don't take their word for it. Get documentation for everything. The next thing you want to do is you want to find out what your physician has recommended. So talk to your physician. Usually they will ask you, they will give you the option of, hey, you can try to stick it out, or hey, you can do the surgery, or you can get separated, pretty much. Now, another thing you might want to do is go and see like a psychiatrist or get some kind of mental help. So if you're sure that you want to get out, then definitely go ahead and get that help, because later on that will help your case when you file disability for anxiety or depression. Because if they don't have it on record now, then it's probably going to be very difficult to get it later, and you most likely will not be able to get that later unless it's documented. So get it now so you can get some money every month, at least get paid for the stress that you've been caused, because it can be a very stressful process. My unit personally, then at my platoon level, then they were not very supportive of my predicament. I ended up getting an attorney, actually, because my base commander, Colonel, then he recommended that I be given a general under honorable discharge, which brings me to my next point. You want to find out what the recommendation is going to be from your unit. So the head of your unit, that should be colonel, then they are going to give you a recommendation of what your discharge status should be. So general, under honorable. Usually if you have 4 years, they will just give you the honorable discharge, unless you've had some kind of disciplinary action. In my case, I had less than 3 years, but more than 2. And so they ended up giving me the general under honorable. But I never had any disciplinary actions, and I did a lot of volunteer hours. I was very good at my job. I was physically fit the whole time, first class the whole time, good, decent pros and cons. But still, I was recommended general under honorable. Now, when you go to find out if it's something that is negative, then don't request masks. Just ask to speak to the colonel about your discharge. Yeah. So just ask to speak with them about it. It's kind of like an informal meeting, and you can just make your claim. But when you go in there prepared, bring documentation. Hey, I got a first class. Hey, I've never done anything wrong. Here's some, maybe get a statement from your unit, or from your officer or staff NCO, maybe show book reports. But for me, the volunteer hours is really what put it over the edge, because I've been volunteering with the USO and the SMP while I was in school full time. I was great on ops. The previous colonel and sergeant major, I had a good relationship with them, but they had just left, so we had a new colonel. But yeah. The next thing you want to do is they're going to try to have you take your transitional readiness program. They're going to get your package ready, right? So you can be discharged. And they're going to try to rush you through this process. The admin is going to try to rush you through this process. That way, soon as they get word back from the general, then they can just send you on your way. And that TRS package, that needs to be completed in order for them to send the recommendation from the colonel up to the general. So they can't send anything until you finish your stuff first. So that package is going to be your number one priority. Now in that package, you have a physical examination that you have to do. All right, when you go into that physical examination, you tell them every little thing that's wrong with you. I mean, every little thing. Yeah, I hurt my elbow, it pops sometimes, tell them. I have trouble sleeping, tell them. If you have mental issues, right, tell them. Suicidal, tell them. Like, seriously, tell them if you have mental issues. Like, you'll think it'll keep you from like continuing to serve or whatever, right? Yeah, get that out your head right now, because to be completely honest with you, you definitely want, I at least would definitely take the chance for disability and not being able to serve over not ever having the disability and maybe being able to serve, right? They're already trying to like get you out, right? So I mean, just tell them so you can get your benefits later on. Makes the process easier, right? Like, put your pride to the side. And if you have family, right, then this is all the more reason to tell them about it, because then you can get more benefits for your family later on, potentially, via disability. So, what was I gonna say? But yeah, tell them everything during that physical exam. You want to start going to the doctor as well for every little thing that's wrong with you, right? Go to the doctor for every little thing that's wrong with you. Take full advantage of all the benefits before you get out. So go to dental, right? Go to dental. As soon as they send up your package to the general, go to dental, right? Or actually, right before you're almost done with your package, right? Then schedule your dental appointment so that, it's within like a week. Because once the general gives you your discharge status, that's it. That's all you get. Let me see. There's a lot I could talk about with this. I'm gonna have to make several parts to this video. So, where's I at? So you want to keep checking. Like, your unit is gonna have you keep checking. Like, hey, when are you getting out? Hey, when are you getting out? What's admin saying? And there might be some disconnects between medical, admin, the admin at your unit, and maybe like any other departments. But for the most part, the first disconnect is going to be from admin and the Navy medical side. I mean, the Navy medical side, your doctor going to admin and whatever your branch is, right? For me, it was Marines, so there was a lot of disconnect. And they're gonna have you keep going to them, right? Throughout this whole process, remember, nobody cares about what happens to you except for you. You're the only one that cares. So no matter who reassures you, just remember, you're the only one that cares. So Navy, the doctor, is going to send their request, the recommendation for you to be discharged, right? Or not be discharged, right? You'll stick it out. Now, I only know the discharge method. So if they send the request to discharge you, it will go to your admin. And then from there, it will go to the colonel. And he is going to give you back, he's going to send a recommendation for what you should get. Honorable, general honor, honorable, dishonorable, right? He's going to send that. Now, there are actually, there's a Marine Corps order. So maybe like in whatever you call orders in your branch, then you'll have one of those for basically how they can determine what kind of discharge you can get. So for me, the workaround was since I have not been given any disciplinary action, then there is no reason why I should get anything other than honorable, because I perform my duties well, you know. So as long as you don't mess up, pretty much, and you've done a good job, then you rate an honorable discharge. That's essentially what the order says. I'll have to dig back through and find it. I have the emails. Keep your documents. But I have it saved at home. But once you get that back, then they'll try to get you to rush that package, go through SIF, check out. So like completely check out of your unit. And then you'll have to sign some paperwork, right? If you're honestly not the most communicative person, if you're not good with documents and stuff like that, my advice is to get an attorney. So I'll put it this way. I did debate for several years. I coached debate for several years. I'm good at examining documents. At that time, I knew I wanted to go into law. I still plan on going to law school. And I chose to get an attorney because I wanted somebody who was a professional and experienced in the matter, because I knew that my discharge status was going to drastically affect many things. The way I would be perceived, right? The way the benefits I could get. Putting on an application general and honorable discharge isn't the same as an honorable discharge. So things like that. Just remember, nobody cares about you except for you, right? Like, it's a sad thing, but that's the truth of it. I went in solo and I ended up doing the attorney. I even had my gunny try to persuade me not to get an attorney, and he was like, "Oh, you can change your discharge status once you get out." Don't listen to that. Anything having to do with the VA once you get out is going to take forever. It's a lot of paperwork. It's easier just to get out of the way and handle these things at first hand. If anybody tells you not to get a lawyer, they're not on your side. Everybody just wants to get you out of their hair, and that's the truth of it, because they don't want to deal with you, because you're just an extra person and you're not working. So, I mean, you're not able to be like stationed elsewhere. You're not able to be deployed or anything. So you're of no use to them at that point. So just keep that in mind. What else? So they'll give you a lot of documents to sign, like understanding that that they said general under honorable discharge. Don't let them push you around. Don't be intimidated. Like, this is your life. If you don't get an honorable discharge, like, you fight that. You fight it. If you get an attorney and they're not able to do anything, then oh well. At least, like, yeah, you might be out a couple $1,000, but at least you tried. And at least you tried, right? But chances are, if you get an attorney, they'll be able to help you drastically more than you can help yourself. The JAG, right? Then they're probably not going to be able to help you as much, right? They could probably guide you, like they guided me on what documents and orders to look at. But the attorney, they knew the same documents that I would need, right? And they only really defend you whenever you have like a court case or something like that, right? But they can advise you in which direction you should go in for like information. But they're very busy, so that's another reason why I say go with a civilian attorney, because they will put you first. There's no chain of command for them. And they can just focus on getting you what you want. So after all this is said and done, when you go through TRS, then listen very closely and see what benefits you get, because some of those benefits you can apply for before you even get out. If you can, try to do what's it called? There's like a program where you can go somewhere and go to school before you get out. See if you can get get into that program. A friend of mine, she got a job at Microsoft using that program, and you're guaranteed an interview. So if you can, try to do that, try to set that up, because the process is going to be very sharp. Like, you're just going to be out. Like, soon as the general sends back what the discharge is going to be, you're just going to be out, like, within 2 days. You won't have time to do anything. Like, it's pretty sad. They just kind of completely just get you out, and you don't have time to use the benefits that most people would typically have when normally discharging from the military. So just keep that in mind. Yeah. But yeah, I'll try to make more videos on this subject, because it would have really helped me out. All right, have a good day, and keep copies. If you're going through this process and you need help, or you have questions, feel free to email me. My email is willisjackson411@yahoo.com. All right, peace.